Today I'll be reviewing the Simgot Supermix 4. So this is another IEM from Simgot. This time it is targeting the $150 price range from Simgot. This is not quite the $200 price range, which is the Simgot EA1000, or not the $100 price range, which is the Simgot EM600, where these two IEMs lie. So this is a review unit from Simgot, but all the thoughts and opinions you're about to hear are my own. Hey guys, quick break over here. 94% of the people watching this video aren't subscribed, so I would really appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button and also like my video. That really helps me out a lot, and it helps me to bring out more reviews to you, and you can also stay updated for all the latest product reviews I bring. So yeah, back to the video. So let's start with the review. So I'll display all the whatever you get in the box on the screen, so that I do not want to go through that again. The packaging is quite good, except for the price of $150. I would expect at least one more set of ear tips, and the cable which they provided is also quite good, but again, for $150 I would expect a tad bit better cable. That's it. Those are the only two gripes I can see with the unboxing experience. The cable I'm using is a custom made cable. It's from Gladiator Cables. I'm just using it because I liked it with the Simgot Supermix 4. Goes really well. And the cable which comes inside the box, it's quite okay, nothing wrong with that, but still I prefer something soft and supple, so I was just using this cable for testing. Now that is about the unboxing experience. Now when coming to the comfort, I think so the Simgot Supermix 4 the shell of the Supermix 4 is really good. I think so Simgot, what they said was they used many ear models when they tried to design the Supermix 4. So yeah, so it is true, it has this concha part over here which sits really well, and the fit is really good, and the comfort is really good. Also the noise isolation when you wear it is also really good. So I really like the Supermix 4 when it comes to the aspect of comfort. Also drivability issues, there are no issues with that. It has only 7.5 ohms of impedance, so there are no issues with that. Anything it can like any smartphone or any even the Apple dongle or any just 3.5 millimeter converter from USB-C will be more than enough to drive the Simgot Supermix 4. That's a really good thing. But saying that, if you do give them more power from a better dongle DAC, there are many dongle DACs on my arsenal, and even some DAPs. I think so the Supermix 4 performs better. So I think so giving it more power is better for its overall tonality, overall performance. Although you don't need something very expensive, even let's say like the $50 dongle like the Acclaim PD5 or something like that should be more than enough. I found the FIO KA11, which is the $30 dongle, to be a very good pairing with this. The FIO KA11 and the Supermix 4 together should cost you around $180. So it's a nice setup which you can have. So it's a very good pairing. Now talking about the sound. Well, the sound signature of the Supermix 4 is harmonish, which is Simgot's signature tuning, but with a tad bit emphasis on the bass. So let's talk about the bass. In my opinion, the bass, the sub bass is done really good. It is punchy, it is tactile, and any songs, let's say when I'm listening to Crack Crack Crackle by Classy, there is a sub bass region in that song which is really good, and the tactility of the bass is a good test for any IEM. It is at the starting 15 to 20 seconds of the song, and the Simgot Supermix 4 performs really well over there. And when the song when we are talking about the mid bass, when we are the juxtaposition of the mid bass and the sub bass is also really good. There is no bleed over here as per se, but that no bleed could also be some issue, because when I'm listening to any rap or hip hop, there is a bit of a thinness in that region which sometimes I do not like. It's a trait of the typical Harman sound, so it's something you have to live with. Some people do not mind it. Sometimes I mind it in some songs. So that is it. Although there is no bleed, it does sound a bit thin in that region. When listening to instruments like from Cassiopeia, their 1985 live album, I think so they sound really good. The texture of the instruments is good, but for some air instruments, for some piano play by Minoru Mikoya, sorry if I butchered that name, it sounds a bit veiled, so that instruments doesn't sound as good, what I would personally prefer. Now talking about the mid-range. The mid-range is where again it follows the typical Harman trend. The male vocals again sit back, the female vocals are quite good. But the male vocals over here, although they do sit back, the texture, like again, which I test with Chris Cornell's voice, his deep raspy voice, Bill Withers' voice, they come across really good. So there are no issues with that, but they do take a backseat, quite a bit of a backseat when compared to the entire mix of the song. The female vocals is where it shines. So as someone who listens to a lot of J-pop, I think so this IEM is really good over here. The impactfulness of that sub bass with that punchy and shrilly upper mids, the Supermix 4 is really good. I think so it's one of the best at around that $150 price point. Treble again is good. It's very subdued, it's very well controlled. Generally what I would have seen is with Harman tuned IEMs, even Simgot did it, is that they will tune the treble quite harshly. For a lack of a better word, they'll tune it very in preference to the Chinese market. But for the Supermix 4, I think so they have done away with very nice control of the treble. So when I'm listening to any instrumental like Cassiopeia, or when I'm listening to anything which has a lot of air region, I think so it is very well controlled. But even after saying that, I'll say if you are playing it at higher volumes, if you are playing it with something a bit neutral, you might find some issues wherein it could be a bit shrilly. Right, so keep that in mind. I think so if you play it at a moderate volume, there will be no issues with that, but at higher volumes again there will be some issues with the treble. So that's the overall sound. Let's compare it with some IEMs. So at $150, I think so the only IEM which that immediately pops up to your mind is the Truthear Nova. In my opinion, the Truthear Nova and Supermix 4 are really good. They trade blows with each other. There are no issues over here. But I think so the Supermix 4 is a bit more refined, especially in the bass aspect. I think so it's a bit more cleaner, and the fit of the Supermix 4 is a lot better when compared to the Truthear Nova. So that is one thing. And the soundstage also, when I'm comparing with the Truthear Nova, I think so the soundstage of the Supermix 4 is really good. It's spacious. The width of the soundstage, which I personally like, is more on the Supermix 4. One more IEM which I would like to compare at around the $200 price point is the Simgot EA1000. Again, I think so the Simgot EA1000 was a good IEM at around the $200 price point, but it's very bright leaning. The sub bass extension is not that good. I think so the Supermix 4 is better than that. So if you want something very bright, then the Simgot EA1000 is the better option. If not, then this is a better option. So overall, what do I think of the Simgot Supermix 4? Well, I think so Simgot again has done a really good job, but you have to keep that in mind that the tip supplied is not good. So I suggest that you do some tip rolling and to get a better isolation and also better fit. That is the first thing. Second, if you can tip roll with many other different tips to get better sound, that is also a good thing. For me, I personally use the Divinus Velvet Whiteboard tips.